and at this agent's house, and there's all these A-list people there, Mel Gibson and Tom Hanks, and actually some people I knew from doing Saturday Night Live, but they had been hosts. But at one point I got like literally overwhelmed by all this, and I went to sit in a room by myself. It was a library at this agent's house, and I sat down and I heard, yeah, and it was Sylvester Stallone, and I never met him before, so I said, hey, Sylvester. And he said, hey, I heard you went on one of them USO tours. And I said, yeah, I did. He said, yeah, I was supposed to, but I didn't. And I said, well, why didn't you? And he said, I thought it might be dangerous. And I said to him, well, it's not really, because you're with the USO, and they don't want anyone in the USO to get hurt, and you're traveling, you're really embedded. And, well, let me ask you this, was there any time at any point that you felt that you might be in danger? And I said, yeah, I guess the only times were when we took Blackhawks from Baghdad to Tikrit, and there had been some Blackhawks shot down, so I guess then I felt like maybe I had a 1 in 10,000 chance of something, He goes, yeah, that's why I didn't go. And I said, weren't you like fucking Rambo?
Yeah, in the movies.
And he went, well, yeah, but I got a good life, and I don't want to, I like my life. And but essentially, yeah, you're very safe. And my wife goes nuts for the 3 days that I'm in Iraq, because we also go to we're also in Kuwait and in Afghanistan, and we're taking great care of. And I can imagine what the family members of guys that are over there for a year and a half.
Yeah, sure. Not just a few days.
They must, and my wife was saying that too the other day, just yesterday, because she said, God, I can't imagine what it'd be like to be a family member of somebody over there. And I think it's worse for the family members than for the troops in some ways.
I actually felt safer in Iraq than I did in Kuwait. We were in Kuwait for one night or a night and a half, because Iraq is a war zone. Everybody knows what's going on. But in Kuwait, you're in a hotel which is deemed safe. But it's like you're in a Middle Eastern city. I just didn't feel comfortable in Kuwait. Oh, you're in a
hotel there, huh?
Yeah.
They put us on a base.
Oh, we didn't stay there. No, we stayed in a hotel.
We're all bases. We're like...
Was there a Starbucks there, Jimmy?
There actually was. Absolutely there was in the hotel. There really was.
That didn't make you feel safe?
That made me feel
There's no Starbucks around town. All right.
I may be beheaded, but at least a latte will go down first. Yeah, it was kind of horrifying.
So who do you want to see as our next president?
Okay.
Did you answer that?
I didn't.
Oprah Winfrey?
No.
Some say should be the
What do you think of Joe Biden?
I like Joe Biden. I'd be more of a Hillary person. I'd be also.
See, you're throwing away your vote. You're throwing it away.
No.
It's a gimmick ticket.
What?
Hillary.
She's not a ticket. She's a person.
It would
first of all.
No. It would be a gimmick ticket.
Why is it a gimmick ticket? She's an incredibly able person. And
but is America ready to elect
a woman?
Yeah, that's the
elect
question.
a woman who they think is.
No, that's the question.
I think there's a lot of forget about women. I think there's a lot of people that don't think
like
she's
Hillary.
very credible as an elected official. Never mind president.
Well, why though? Why? Why? See, there you go.
I think she's become this picture of feminism, and to be honest with you, what bothers me about her is she did what any other woman did what she did, which is stay with a guy who was sleeping with everybody under her nose and embarrassing her, and she stayed with him, and there's something about that really bothers me. It's like if any other woman did it, they would be attacking her as this 1950s housewife.
Weak, yeah.
Yeah, but because she does it, they're like, wow, look at her. She's
I don't know. First of all, I think you might read that differently. I think that actually helped her in a way, is that she stood by her man in an odd way, and that's not the sum of what she is. I think that's in fact, she may have the strong. If she runs in 2008, and people say, well, I have a real problem with Bill Clinton's personal life. She has the argument of like, you think you have a problem with it? How about me? And they go, oh yeah, okay. And I think she's incredibly brilliant. Now, I mean, there are other people that I really like too. I like Barack Obama. Is probably too soon for him to run, but I just think he's going to be president someday.
See, here is why the Democrats screw up year after year with the election, 4 year after 4 year. You guys got to get a legitimate candidate in there, not some Obama. Ain't gonna happen.
I just said that.
Hillary, yeah, I know, but even to bring it up, And Hillary, just knock it off. Find a credible...
No, Hillary beats any Republican except McCain.
I don't think so.
No way.
I don't think so. I think for a woman...
Name a Republican who beats her.
McCain.
No, name a different Republican. I mean, name a Republican besides McCain who beats her.
Strom Thurmond.
Name a Republican who's alive that beats her.
Friggin' Cheney would beat her.
Oh, my Lord, no.
That's how bad it is.
I think you don't. I don't think you know. I don't think you. No. I think you read. You read your New York Post.
The problem.
I'll read my New York Times.
The problem with a woman being elected, she'll have to be a conservative, I think, because you're going to get. I think to get crossover, you're going to have more liberal people and thinking the power of a woman being president is going to be important and crossing over than you will have conservatives going to vote for. You understand what I mean? I think for a minority or a woman to win, they're going to have to be Republican eventually.
I understand that, and you put it so well too.
Yes.
I understand that sentiment, but I think she is very, very well regarded, certainly in the Democratic Party, and stands a good chance of getting the nomination. And if she does, I don't see a Republican. You've just named
Giuliani.
Giuliani's not going to get the nomination.
Well, you're saying Republican. I think he could beat her.
But he's not going to get the nomination.
Well, how do we know?
Well, you're right. How do we know? But he lived with two gay guys.
So what? He's a good egg.
I know, but
crossover helps out with the.
No. But what I'm saying is that he's not going to get the nomination.
Yeah.
They're not going to go with a guy who.
I still think Giuliani could beat her, though. I think credibility-wise, Giuliani is seen as this raucous ex-prosecutor and the way he handled New York after 9/11 and what he did for New York. And I think that his inaction in public service, not that she's not sincere, which I don't think she is, but people would argue that. But I do think
you don't think she's sincere.
Nah, I personally never dug her. I just don't. I haven't seen her do anything. I don't, man. She's done
That's
nothing.
How people vote, though.
But she's never said anything.
I don't dig
Welcome here to.
You know, I like who's a Democrat.
Issues in focus.
I think
Jimmy Carter's a sincere guy.
Jim never dug her.
It's nothing against her, but I think her career motivation is.
Oh, you mean she's ambitious?
Well, ambitious, but it's more for herself than it is public service. I think that's just how she comes off.
It sounds corny, but that putting that Yankee hat on, it's almost like you're not a Yankee. There's something about Giuliani being a New Yorker and a Yankee fan. People feel like, or at least this is the person who we're seeing.
Well, here's if you talk to like firefighters in New York, and by the way, I thought it was masterful after 9/11, but and I went to a number of services, funerals for firefighters because Giuliani asked people to, because when a firefighter dies, normally all these firefighters from all over show up, but we had several hundred die, and so they had one funeral after another, so Giuliani asked the public to show up. So my wife and I would go, just to go. And I saw him at a number of them, and he was great. But if you talk to firefighters now, they don't like him too much. And one of the reasons they don't like him is is that he did nothing to get interoperability between radio signals between the police and the fire department done between the first attack on the World Trade Center and the second attack. And that cost a lot of lives. And I think if you really examine his record before 9/11, it ain't so strong. I think he did a masterful job afterwards. You don't think he cleaned up New York before 9/11? As far as the shape it was in, like with just with crime and the little quality of life stuff that people called him a Nazi for? I think some of those were good. I also think some of them were started during Dinkins. I think that community policing was started during Dinkins.
It was started during Dinkins. It gave Giuliani a lot of stuff to clean up, make New York look better.
Well,
Dinkins was oof.
Cops didn't like
I remember driving into the city when Dinkins was mayor, and nothing but squeegee guys, porno shops, which, fine, I frequented quite a few, but,
they wouldn't exist without people like you.
Absolutely. But as far as, bringing money into the city and building...
you have to also remember that Bloomberg has improved over that. But also that Giuliani was mayor during the Clinton administration, and things really during the Clinton administration went very, very well for America and for New York because of the markets and stuff. So a lot of that was really about economic forces that had nothing to do with Giuliani.
Well, look at all the Koch years before that. When you look at Koch and Dinkins, it's just kind of like the mess that it turned into.
Well, we had
Democrats running it.
We had the crack epidemic, and and again, community policing did start during Dinkins, which he doesn't get any credit for at all. But that was toward the end of his term.
I think Giuliani was a really great mayor, and a lot of people will bring up something like the Brooklyn Art Museum, which he was wrong to try to censor the art, and they'll say, well, that's who he was.